Let me paste the full story directly in the chat for you. The dark gift. They say a child coming into the world brings joy to a home. But what happens when someone's envy, and something far darker, sets its eye on that child? Cassandra Cassie Harlow had grown up in Chicago, but after her wedding, she moved back with her husband's family in their small hometown of Maplewood, Ohio. Just a few months after the wedding, Cassie discovered she was going to be a mother. The news spread through Maplewood like wildfire. Cassie was overjoyed, but not everyone shared her happiness. When the news reached her husband Ryan's aunt, Dorothy Vance, the woman's expression curdled behind a forced smile. "Can you believe it, Barbara?" Dorothy muttered to her daughter-in-law at home. "I've been praying for a grandchild for 5 years. And that girl, Ryan's wife, she managed it in just a few months." She paused, then smiled coldly. "Well, I suppose I should go congratulate her." Dorothy arrived at Cassie's door with a warm hug and warmer words. She was charming, the kind of woman who knew exactly how to wear a smile that never reached her eyes. Cassie's mother-in-law, Linda, had always known what Dorothy really was. But Cassie was new to the family. A short while later, Ryan got a job opportunity and relocated with Cassie to their apartment in Columbus. Not long after, Dorothy drove up to visit. "Aunt Dorothy." Ryan answered the door, surprised. "What brings you all the way out here?" "Oh, I was passing through the city. Thought I'd check on this beautiful girl." Ryan grabbed his keys. "It's great you're here. I'm running late for the office. Cassie, I'll see you tonight." The two women sat down over coffee. "That necklace is gorgeous. Cassie, where did you get it?" Dorothy touched her own bare collarbone. "Everything's so expensive these days, isn't it?" Her words were honey. Her eyes were something else, cackling into the swamp night as his magnificent mustache trembled with villainous joy. That very evening, without any weather warning whatsoever, a violent thunderstorm unleashed itself over Savannah and hammered down on River Street, flooded the famous squares, and filled every ditch, pothole, flower pot, and low-lying corner of the entire city with standing water. While Tails ran an urgent scan on his instruments and confirmed with dread that the storm clouds were entirely artificial and externally generated, which meant Sonic needed exactly 1 second to figure out who was behind it all. That night, while all of Savannah slept peacefully and unsuspectingly, Eggman and Orbit floated silently through the darkened city streets in mosquito ghost form, drifting hungrily toward Green Hills Farm. But Blaze sensed them coming before they even reached the barn door and let out a massive panicked moo that jolted Tails awake at his computer terminal instantly. And by the time Eggman and Orbit had shrunk themselves into tiny mosquito form and landed smugly on Blaze's hide, Sonic was already standing in the barn with a flashlight, scanning every inch of the stall with sharp, focused eyes until he spotted them. And then one supersonic finger snap later, both mosquitoes went flying out the barn window and crash-landed in Forsyth Park, dazed, defeated, and profoundly embarrassed. Lying flat on the Forsyth Park grass and staring up at the Savannah stars, Eggman made a furious decision that there would be no more sneaking and no more small attacks, because his mosquito robots were already hatching in every puddle across the city, and by morning there would be millions of them swarming everywhere. And indeed, when dawn broke over Savannah the very next day, the city woke up to absolute chaos, with mosquitoes blanketing River Street, filling the air above the historic district, driving tourists from the waterfront, shutting down restaurants on Broughton Street, and hitting nothing more. But when they finally turned off the lights and lay down in bed, neither of them could sleep. They stared at the ceiling in the darkness, listening. At first there was nothing, just the sound of wind moving through the pine trees outside. Then around midnight it started again, but this time it was different. This time there was a low growling sound mixed with the footsteps, not like a dog or a bear, something else entirely, something that made every hair on Ryan's body stand up. Sarah grabbed his hand under the blanket and squeezed it so hard it hurt. They lay completely still, not making a single sound, until morning came. When the sun finally rose, Ryan climbed back up to the roof with Tom and Bill. What they found stopped them all cold. There were footprints in the sand, large ones, but they were not normal footprints. The toes were pointing backward,
Whatever had walked across their roof had feet that faced the wrong direction. Bill took one look and stepped back from the edge of the roof. His face had gone completely pale. He said in a low voice that this was no human being and no animal. Tom pulled out his phone and took photos. Ryan stood there staring at the prints, trying to make sense of what he was seeing. A few other neighbors had gathered below in the yard. When they saw the photos being passed around, some of them wanted to call a priest. Others said the Thompsons needed to leave that night. One old woman at the back of the crowd said quietly that whatever this thing was, it always came 3 nights in a row. And on the 3rd night it took heads. Sarah broke down crying when Ryan told her what the footprints looked like. She begged him to leave. She said no house was worth their lives. But Ryan held her and told her he had a plan. He was not going to run. He told her that if this thing was real, they were going to outsmart it. That night before dark, Ryan went to the garage and found 2 large scarecrow dummies they had bought for Halloween.
The villagers gave up and left. Then one night, Preston found Trisha at the well. You escaped that day. Not tonight. He stabbed her and left her to die. I was innocent. They falsely accused me, tried to throw me out, and when I wouldn't leave, he killed me and separated me from my little sister. My soul has been wandering ever since. That's why I kill people or turn them into dolls. Dr. Avery had tears in her eyes. That's terrible. But what you're doing isn't right either. You've killed many innocent people. Tell me, is this truly justice? I know the path I chose is wrong, but I can't rest until justice is served. My killer, Preston Reynolds, is still free. I will get you justice. Dr. Avery went to the police and told them everything. Preston was arrested. The court sentenced him to death. Trisha's spirit was finally at peace. You've done me a great favor. One more. Please take care of my little sister Penny. Don't worry. I'll raise her like my own sister. I'll educate her and make her a doctor like me. Trisha's spirit smiled and disappeared. 3. The shape-shifting witch. It was late night on a dark road in New Orleans, Louisiana. Newlywed Stephen and Sandra had been traveling all day and were waiting for a bus under an old oak tree. When is this bus coming, Sandra? I just want to get home. Relax, Stephen. Stop being so dramatic. Suddenly, Sandra saw a witch watching them from the shadows. The witch thought, what a beautiful girl. Why not take over her body? The witch transformed into a beautiful woman with long black hair and approached them. Hey, shouldn't you be careful walking alone at night? Stephen asked. The woman turned, and Stephen saw a witch's face staring back. Both screamed, it's a witch. Run. The witch caught them, attacked Stephen, and he blacked out. When Stephen came to, he was on the roadside. He found Sandra unconscious under the oak tree, took a cab, and brought her home. When Sandra woke up, something was wrong.
Her voice was different. Her personality was off. You care about my beauty or my voice? My Sandra never talked like that. You're not my Sandra. Who are you? Sandra burst into manic laughter. You guessed right. I'm the witch queen. Your wife's body was too beautiful to resist. And now that you know my secret, the witch left Sandra's body, raised both hands, and made them both vanish with a wave. I need more souls to grow my power. Night after night, the witch changed forms and made people disappear from New Orleans. The village watchman, Old Pete, was making his rounds. Stay awake. A shape-shifting witch is loose. Lock your doors. He spotted a glowing light descend from the sky, and the witch stepped out, taking on his form. That witch just copied me. I have to warn everyone. He followed her to Ray's house and gathered the villagers. There's a shapeshifter inside Ray's house right now. They knocked. Ray's wife Rachel opened the door, and everyone noticed her feet were backwards. It's the witch. Tell us, where are you hiding our missing people? You'll never find out. Village man Dean grabbed her hair and pulled hard. The witch writhed in pain. Henry understood. Her power was in her hair. He grabbed the torch and set it ablaze. The witch burned, screaming, "You'll regret this. When I return, I'll destroy this entire town." As she burned, a magical jail appeared in Ray's house. All the missing villagers were inside. The townspeople broke them free, and New Orleans celebrated its freedom. 4. The Airplane Witch. Teacher Miss Parker addressed her class in Denver, Colorado. Great news, kids. Who here has ridden in a car? Scooter? Train? Camel? Elephant? All of us, Miss Parker. But who's been on an airplane? We've only waved at them from the ground. Well, your grades this semester were the best in the entire school. So I'm taking you all on an airplane tour. The class erupted. Yes, Miss Parker. Yes. Class monitor Kira was put in charge of the
group. The jealous kids teased her. Look at Kira, teacher's pet. Yes, Miss Parker. Yes, Miss Parker. 4 days later, Miss Parker brought the class to Denver International Airport, got everyone buckled in, and the plane took off. I've got butterflies in my stomach. I've got mice jumping around in mine. I'm scared. Ma'am, can I get a snack? I'm hungry. The smart kid Kevin had already figured out how to get a snack from the flight attendant, to everyone's jealousy. Suddenly, all the lights began flickering. The kids screamed, "Quiet!" Kira scolded, "You'll all get in trouble." Then the flight attendant walked down the aisle, as a witch, and lifted one child into the air. "If anyone makes another sound, I'll dangle them like this." "Mommy, there's a witch on the airplane." A girl named Rita kept getting louder. Kira tried to calm Ricky, who was sobbing, by tapping his head, making him cry louder. The witch grabbed all the children and floated them in midair. "One more word, and I drop someone out of this plane, please." Ms. Parker stepped forward. "These are innocent children. They came to see an airplane. Please don't end their journey before it begins. Then keep them quiet." A brave kid pulled a pencil from his bag and jabbed it into the witch's eye. "Ow, who did that?" The witch found Roshan's bag. She slammed him down. He went unconscious. Miss Parker confronted her. "What kind of heartless person are you? Why are you doing this to innocent children?" "I want revenge for what people did to me." "What do children have to do with that?" "Everything. A year ago, I was a flight attendant on this very airline. My dream job. Then I had a baby, stayed home for a while, and when I came back, terrorists hijacked our plane. I single-handedly saved every passenger. I held a gun to their heads and got the plane landed safely. Then one terrorist shoved me and shot me. I bled out on that runway. I begged for help. No one came, and I had just left my baby at home. Home that morning, my tiny baby, alone. I decided, since these people made me suffer for my child, I would make them suffer for theirs." Ms. Parker listened quietly, then said, "You have a mother's heart. Look at these children bleeding. If your baby were here, what would you want someone to do? Just like your child needs you, every one of these kids needs their parents." The witch stared at the crying children. Something shifted. "You're right. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Thank you for understanding. I think it's time to go." "Wait, witch lady. Before you go, can you show us how the airplane works?" The witch laughed softly. She gave them the most amazing aerial tour they'd ever imagined. All the children cheered. Then she disappeared, at peace. 5. The Bathing Witch of Maplewood. Maplewood Village, Tennessee was old-fashioned. No bathrooms, no proper roads, while every neighboring town had modernized. Every morning, the village women bathed in the river. 5 or 6 women were there one day. Where's Vera today? Sleeping, probably. That girl sleeps like the dead. I really don't like bathing out in the open like this. Me neither. But what can we do? A crow flew over and dropped something on Grace's head. Everyone burst out laughing. That's exactly why I hate bathing outside. Meanwhile, 2 town troublemakers, Nate and Dale, were hiding behind bushes, spying. "Look at these women, man. Let's get closer." They moved forward, and the women spotted them. Sarah grabbed a bucket and smashed it over Nate's head. "Shameless. Disgusting. We're reporting you." The women chased them. Dale grabbed Mandy's wrist. "You want to bathe outside? This is what happens. Stop complaining." Nate pulled out a knife toward Grace's throat. Suddenly the sky turned dark. A storm rolled in, and in a whirlwind, a witch arrived, killed both men in an instant, and vanished. The women were confused. Who was this witch? The next day, Mandy told her husband, Mayor Steve, "Those men, put a knife to our throats. We need a public bathhouse for women's safety. Every other town has one. Why not ours?" "That's a big ask, Mandy. It's a safety ask. Build us a bathhouse." "Let me think about it." Meanwhile, the witch, disguised as a beautiful woman named Vivian, bathed in the river and lured any man who came to spy.
When they approached, she revealed herself and killed them. One by one, men of the village disappeared. The worried wives came to Mayor Steve. "Someone is killing our husbands. I'm working on it." Steve was walking early one morning when he saw the witch in action. She lured a man and killed him. So would I as a witch. He went to the local holy man, Father Thomas, who used his powers to trap the witch. "Why are you killing the men of this village? What they deserve." The women of this village bathe in the open, and these men lurk and spy and assault them. The same happened to me. I was bathing one morning and a man attacked me. I tried to run. He killed me. Not long ago I watched. Even the mayor's wife and her friends were nearly killed by two thugs. I saved them. I will not leave until every house in this village has a proper bathroom for women. Father Thomas turned to Mayor Steve. "She's right. You have to build these bathrooms." "Fine, I promise. Every house will have a proper bathroom. But then you must go." The witch agreed. Mayor Steve kept his promise. The bathrooms were built, and the bathing witch of Maplewood finally left in peace, and the village was never troubled again.